Let's rap on Ruth.
Woo! Rap on Ruth. Ruthless. Yeah.
Oh my God. Woman right here. Good. Look at his lighting. It was like a joke. Well, you know, when you're on the compound,
just the sun came out on the last
the
day.
sun will come out. What a beautiful
Send off.
It's a beautiful send off and a beautiful message. It means
So much.
it means the light is real.
Man, it feel good.
Just giving you some BTS of Ruth and Ruthless family. Let's get into the episode. The name of this episode is called The Song, and it reads, Dion's fate sends the highest spiraling, and he has visions that hit so close to home, they prompt a battle for control between Ruth, River, Obadiah, and their new allies. All right, family. Well, where did we leave off? We left off where the lowest was memorializing Dion Anthony, saying that, he truly loved him and everything. And here goes the birth mother. And she's like, what do you know about love, son? Do you know anything about love? And of course, he is shook, right? So here we are. Ruth rolls up on River, and she accuses River of taking out Dion. He's saying he is Dion. She's saying that he's jealous and he had motive. River says, yeah, we all had motive, but there's only one person with an axe. She said, well, maybe I did it, right? And don't test me or I'll take you out. And then she drops his towel, walks away. Yeah, she ain't playing. And now we got to find out who took out Dion Anthony. So here we go, back at the highest trailer, lowest. He is going nuts, banging his head, going insane. What is going on in his head? Here comes River and Peter around the corner, and he's like, okay, what happened to the morning message? But when River goes inside, he sees that the highest is going crazy, going nuts, cursing out the chair and all of that. And River is witnessing all of this go down. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Next thing you know, we see everybody on the campus, and then we hear River's voice sending out a message. This is the morning message that the highest usually sends out, but now we hear River's voice, and we see the children making windmills for the funeral, and we see Zane, and he's like, we need to recognize that, yes, when we lose things, we are going to gain more things, right? Peter, he's kissing Dion's butt and saying he did a great job. You sound like the highest. He's like, no, we just sending out the message. Ruth comes over, is like, what was that? The highest is supposed to do the message. He's like, well, somebody had to do it. Oh, he gave you permission? No. Well, you trying to take over, right? He's like, well, somebody has to do it, right? Who else is going to take over? The axe, the guy with the axe. Well, he is a lunatic. And here comes Obadiah. Like, that's blasphemy what you did. The highest will have your head. He's like, listen, this ain't over. All right. And yeah, River, he's trying to take over. Ruth can't have that. They all can't have that. Here comes the birth mother talking to the highest and telling him that he was basically a pain. He was always asking for stuff, and it's his fault why she had to be with all of these men, because he was always hungry. He was always cold. And she is blaming him for doing what she needed to do as a mother. Said that his father left and had 2 tickets and gave him a high dosage to make him sleep so he wouldn't wake up, but he woke up. Man, and then the father left, and then now she's gone. And he's like, mother, where did you go? Where did you go? Right? Man, he got some serious psychotic issues, and yeah, we're going to have to address this. He's going to need his meds because he is flipping out. Meanwhile, we see your girl, Ruth, pouring some water down the well, whatever the case is. Here comes Elda Madamava. She's like, are you okay? You look stressed. You can't be stressing out my grandbaby. And she's like, look, the highest is going crazy. He's talking to chairs. It's crazy. We need more meds. They got it all blocked off. And she's like, well, I may have some. You know, how could you do this? Well, I had a conversation with God, and you know, if you have a problem with me, you have a problem with God. So they agree they need to get him his meds so he can get better. She's like, why don't you name the baby Marvin after me? And she's like, no, I don't like Marvin. You know, come up with something else. So here is your boy River Daikon, and he's talking to the new recruits, saying how the Raku was won and how this is paradise. And he's talking to Heat, and he asks Heat, why is he here? He's like, yeah, well, I'm here, you know, because I lost something, right? I'm here because I lost something. And he's like, well, you know, we have different positions and everything, and whatever you came here for, we're going to help you. You're going to find it here. And of course, Heat is talking about finding out where the money is and where Lilo is. You know, Elder Mother's like, I take care of the kitchen. Jonah's like, I do finances. And Zane is like, I tend to the children. And Scumbag Man is like, I'm a soldier. I deal with the soldiers. And yeah, of course, Heat is like, yeah, we need to get with the soldiers so we can get the weapons. Your boy River sees Andrew. He's like, yo, whoa, what's going on? Good to see you, Andrew. Yeah, to the Raku. He's like, stop playing games. Let's go somewhere. We need to talk. So now we see Mariah and we see Coolidge. He's complaining about the coffee. And she's like, hey, do you see any prisoners here? And he's like, well, we are being held and they're not letting us go. So literally we are prisoners. But once we get out of here, you know, we should be all right. But he's like, man, I'm tired of being here, of course. And she's like, yeah, I'm ready to get out of here, too. She just wants her Pulitzer Prize. She's like, yeah, I'm going to be famous. I got to get things ready. And she is ready to just blow up, but they're holding him. Here we are with the ceremony for Daikon Anthony. And your boy River is giving a compelling speech, talking about life and talking about the Raku. They are also burying Lacey in another location with the children. Of course, Zane and Joan are very upset about it. And yes, River is talking about the government made us do this and do that. And he's really, really going in with the Raku. Here comes the birth mother. And she's like, what? You didn't love him. You treated him like crap. You did this. You're the one that took out Daikon Anthony. He loved you with all his heart. And you turned around and let this happen. It's your fault. And she is blaming him for Daikon Anthony being taken. Now she says, everybody you love will walk away. And he goes, enough. And the highest walks away. And then River flips it, is like, yes, enough of the government. Next thing you know, we have the burnt remains of Daikon Anthony. And he is saying how he hated Daikon, how he tortured him. It's like, I won over you, right? Here comes Obadiah with the axe. He's like, what are you looking at? It's like, yeah, I chopped this eucalyptus wood. You know, that's what it takes to burn someone. He's like, oh, really? So what? I took a piss. So what's your point? He's like, listen, I cut some more maybe for you. He says, what are you going to cut me off? You're going to cut my throat? He's like, listen, you know, they didn't like the last Daikon. They may not like you. So you better just watch your back. I'm 3 steps ahead of all of you. And he spits on Daikon Anthony's grave. Your boy River is shook. Of course, he's going to run to Ruth. Yo, you know, he said he's going to take me out. And Ruth is like, yo, that's your problem, not my problem. I'm protected by the highest. He's like, no, you're not. No, you're really not, you know. And he's like, we need to be allies. And she's like, whatever. And she walks away. So she goes into the kitchen to talk to Elder Mother because Elder Mother's going to cook up finally a meal with the highest's medicine so he can get better and things will be all good. And they have a pretty good relationship going on right now. You know, she says she's a grandmother. She's going to do anything for her and the baby. So now they're on good terms and it's all good. And they're saying, you know, once it starts to bubble, then they're going to put the medicine in. She's about to do it, but here comes Scumbag Manny. Hey, the men are hungry. When are we going to get our food? She's like, the food will be ready when it's ready. And Ruth is looking at him and he's like, no, I want my food now. She's like, listen, you better get out of here before I make you a special spaghetti, you know, with the special sauce. He's like, what is that? He's like, oh, it comes once a month when Aunt Flo comes, right? So, of course, Ruth is laughing. They are laughing. He's like, okay, just do your thing. And he leaves. So they laughing together now. Elder Mother Mava is making jokes and everything. And she's like, don't mess with the Supreme Mother. She goes to get the medicine and it's gone. She's like, oh, my God, where's the medicine? Of course, Ruth is concerned. Next thing you know, we see Obadiah walking with his axe. He goes to one of the porta potties and he has the medicine and he throws the medicine down the porta potty and walks away. He knows what's going on. Desiree is getting calls from DC, avoiding the calls because she has nothing. And then here comes Cal, and he says, I have something. And it says, yeah, somebody's going psychotic, and they can use that as leverage. So here goes River calling, but they call him Michael. He's like, listen, I'm going to need something. He's like, well, why don't you release the journalist? He's like, nah. That's not how it works. I need a bulletproof vest. Because he's scared of Obadiah. Here comes Obadiah looking at the highest. He's in a fetal position, and he walks over and he's stroking his head. He's like, yeah, you got to sing the song. The song, we used to sing the song. And he's stroking his head like, yeah, it's going to be all right. And the highest is like, I hated you. He's like, yeah, you want the rain to go away. And they have this long conversation, and he tells Obadiah to shut up. He says, watch your mouth, right? And the highest is talking like he's a little kid. He's like, I don't have to listen to you. You serve me. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And here comes the birth mother. And they're like, yeah, you remember the song Ty Ty? Your father left you, but we're not going to leave you. All you got to do is sing the song, right? Now here we go with Scumbag Manny talking to the recruits. He's talking to Glitch, talking to Heat. Heat is ready to just get weapons and get it popping. He's the one that pops off. And your boy Glitch is trying to calm him down. He's like, yo, Manny's going to give us whatever weapons we want, da-da-da-da. And he's about to sign them up. And here goes Rivers like, nah, we're not going to sign these guys up. Come with me. So we're back to the highest. And they're like, come on, Tata, sing the song. And we're seeing that your boy Obadiah is looking at the birth mother. This only tells me that the only conclusion I can come to is that this is all an illusion. All of it is an illusion. Like Obadiah is really not there. This is all in the highest's mind. So Obadiah is like his stepfather that took him in. That was my prediction. I guess it's true. And she is telling him that, yeah, her father left and that he created this cult so that people would love him. And yes, the whole world, he says, the whole world loves me. He's like, well, let's sing the song. Rain, rain, go away. Ty wants to go out and play. And they continue to sing the song. And then we see a little image of the highest. Wow. So now they are ready to go. Mariah and Coolidge. He's like, good news. We can release you, but quickly tell me, what you remember, right? And Coolidge is like, there's a catch. And she's like, well, if it wasn't for the FBI, they blocked the entrance, and the young lady who took herself out, she needed her medicine. And if she would have had her medicine, she would still be alive. But the FBI, it's all the FBI's fault. And then River's like, yep, that's what I remember too. You're free to go. So they walk out, and I'm surprised they let him go with the camera stuff, which is weird, right? So he's like, yeah, let's get out of here. Mariah's like, yeah, I need to clean up my social media from age 14 all the way up, as I want to get my Pulitzer Prize. And he's like, okay, whatever, right? So they walk out. Next thing you know, they are walking for like 4 or 5 miles. It's nighttime. They meet Cal and Desiree. She's like, good job, whatever. And Mariah's like, yeah, I knew the risk. And your boy Cal takes the video footage, and she's like, oh, hell nah. He's like, I thought you knew the risk. You still want to ride? And Mariah gets mad, and she walks away, and she goes to her car. I mean, the FBI, they are just scandalous, diabolical, right? They just want to get what they want, and they use Mariah to get all that footage. That's crazy. Meanwhile, we got Andrew. He's in a punishment trailer, and Lewis is like, look around. This is where you're going to be. It's going to be. He's like, how you going to tell me what to look at? You don't got no eyes. Here goes River. He throws her some clothes. He's like, hey, come with me. He's like, yo, you might get snip. So he walks out and says, hey, look, I'm loyal to you, man. I came back. He's like, yo, what happened? He said, I escaped the FBI, but this is the only place I can go. I'm free here. He's like, listen, I know what's going on. Obadiah's walking around with an axe. He's out for you, right? Listen, I'll protect you. And then River's like, listen, I'll use this coat to protect you, man. So now he brings over Heat and Glitch. He's like, yo, these are going to be your men. All right, they're going to work with you, Andrew. And Andrew's like, yo, I know these guys. We met already. He said, good. We got a lot of work to do. And then Andrew's like, can I get dressed, Dion? Right? He's like, yes, you may. So he's trying to show Heat and Glitch how to act in front of Dion, right? So, man, this is going to be crazy. And these guys, they are just ready to rock. Now, back in the kitchen, we got Ruth and Elder Mother Marva, and she's like, listen, man, we got to get this medicine. What you mean, gal? Don't curse in front of my grandbaby. She's like, listen, I won't be protected if the highest is going crazy, you know? So she's concerned. Elder Mother's like, listen, it is going to be all right. But Ruth knows it's not going to be all right if the highest goes crazy. And that's the end of the episode, family. Let me know, drop your comments below. What do you think about this episode? Again, we're going to get into episode 3. Look out for my recap for that as well. Family, let's keep this thing going. It's your man, VACAY-J. Until next time, salute.